All right. Jim Webb, are you with us?
I am.
Well, I'm excited because for those of you that have been on our calls, you know that Jim and I have been co-hosting this call together since last October, and we're excited. And we have lots of different special guests, whether they're from the corporate executive team to the founders to leaders in the field that are teaching us how we can do specific things to enhance our business, to enhance our customer sales. We have doctors on that share products. It's a little bit of everything, and we're excited about that because I think all of us need to continue to hear these things as we are growing and building, and so many things coming at us every day. So I am excited because Jim and Candy Webb, who are 200K select distributors and are part of the multi-million-dollar club, have had a lot of great background before they came to Xango in 2003. But I think that when they came to Xango in 2003, they saw a different opportunity than maybe they had seen in the past. And prior to their network marketing experience, they had been professionals in the professional world. So they went from being professionals in the traditional business world to being professionals in the network marketing world. And I know that I attended many trainings with Jim and Candy, and they were very instrumental in my growth. And last year, they wrote a book, and I love it. It's called, and you can get it on Amazon, but it's called Are You Ready for Network Marketing? So I've asked Jim if he would share this evening a topic that's, I know, really near and dear to his heart and has been also to the amazing organization that you and Candy have built over the last 13 years, Jim. So with that, I would like for you to just take over, and remember, as you want a slide moved, just ask Sandy to go ahead and please move this to the next slide.
Well, Carolyn, I appreciate the nice introduction, and it's been a pleasure working with you and Sandy and all of the leaders for all these years to make Xango one of the best companies in the industry. And I was making some quick notes here before I wanted to start talking. I've been in network marketing for 32 years. Holy Toledo. It seems impossible, but the last 14 years with Xango have been the premier experience of our history. And I was sitting around one day making notes, and I saw I had a lot of information on file on my computer, and I thought, well, people need to know some of this stuff, so I put this little book together. Are you ready for networkmarketing.com? Are you ready for network marketing? So some people are, some people aren't. I wasn't ready when I first got involved in the industry. I wasn't successful at it, but it took a little more effort over a longer period of time, and golly gosh, it's paid off. So Amazon.com, it's an ebook for $2.99, well worth the read. And the reviews seem to be very positive. So take a look and see if it's worth it to you. And so what I wanted to do was to bring some of those notes from the book into a kind of an overview here on getting started. So Sandy, if you'll do the next slide. Just as a baseline frame of reference for getting involved in a venture like this, you really need to know why you're doing this. This is not always an easy business. It's a simple business, but people don't always be successful with it, and that's fine. You're looking for maybe the top 10, 15% of the people in the country and the world to get involved in something like this. It's not for everybody, and that's fine. So the reason was going to, the big why, you need a big why and a little why. The big why is going to drive you for the long term. It's going to help you understand if you're headed for retirement income or comfort income or get-rich income. Not everybody gets rich, but I've always maintained you could make a substantial living for a long period of time with just $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. And most people get in this thinking it's a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not. So, but keep some perspective on why you're doing this. for the long term and on a little while, on a daily basis. How much you want to be making? What do you want to do? How many people do you want to introduce our products to? So knowing why is very important. Treat it like a business. You can buy a janitorial franchise for $15,000, and you still have to go out and clean people's houses and vacuum the floors and all that sort of thing. For a free distributorship in Xango, we undervalue it. Maybe we should charge $15,000 to become a distributor in Xango. People would take it more seriously. So invest in yourself, and I don't mean invest a bunch of money going to seminars and all that sort of thing if you're not producing results, but spend more time, invest more time in doing the things that matter. And I'll talk about what those are in just a second here. Set some goals, time goals. How much time are you willing to spend at this, and what are you going to be doing? Is it talking to people on the phone? Is it meeting with people over coffee? Is it inviting people to your home for parties? Is it something that you're comfortable with? I do a lot of my business one-on-one. And so the question is, how many people do you have to talk to be successful? And then take some action. Almost any action is better than none, but talking to people is really the only thing that counts. You can organize your office. You can shuffle your files. You can get your tax forms ready. But talking to people is the only thing that counts. It's the only thing that produces results, and this is a results-oriented business. Understand the comp plan, but don't get bogged down on the details. You don't need to know everything. A lot of things I'm not sure I know with some of the new changes, but it's not important. It's all about recruiting. Do the math. There shouldn't be any surprises at the end of the month with your organization. You should know if you're going to make a 1K qualification or not, or 5K, or if you're going to qualify for the car bonus. You should be planning your month around your goals and help other people reach theirs. That way you get a better chance of getting to yours. Get help. Use your upline. How you recruit and the three-way call is a powerful tool. If your upline's using the three-way call, get them involved. Help them. Let them help you close your prospects. You have someone that's interested, but they have questions. They're not quite sure if it's for them. Get your upline on the phone and let them help you finalize the commitment and sign that person up. And get some help in structuring your organization. I'm not going to talk about that much tonight because everybody does things a little differently, but the new compensation plan simplified that a bit. And so realize you're not in this business by yourself. You've got a group of people that you couldn't afford to hire to work for you, but you get them for free just because you're in their organization. Understand the basics, which quite frankly really are a couple of different things. Recruit and sponsor, which is kind of the same thing. And so make a list, identify your target market, who are you going to go after to share the products with or to build the business with. And so recruit and sponsoring is important, but I'll tell you a little story here in a second. The other basic is building a customer organization. And with that, you can build a financial base for your own business. And if you teach everybody else to do the same thing, and everybody generates even a modest customer base, you can have a very nice organization. And I'll give you an example of what a customer base can do for someone. I did a trade show several years ago, and I met a woman in another company. She had been with that company for 20 years, and I said, oh, my goodness, you must have a huge organization and do a lot of business. And she said, well, in all my 20 years, I've never found one person that wanted to build a business with me, but I have over 500 active customers. Now, their volume might have been a little lower than ours, but that's $15,000 to $75,000 worth of group volume in Xango, depending on what kind of activity you're generating. That's over $10,000 a month just on customer volume that she was making at the time, and I believe there are people that can do that in Xango. And so when you're talking to customers, you need to make them understand, help them understand why it's to their advantage to get involved with our products, use our products, and go on ADP or AutoShip, because there's a rewards program that in 3 months of being on ADP with the product, and when I say the product, I'm talking about focusing your efforts right now today on the Xango juice, because there's no competition. It's patented, it's proprietary, and nobody else has what we have to offer. When we first got started, it was really simple, and I just think we ought to simplify and focus on one product to start with. Now, you can introduce people to other products as you get comfortable with working with them. But let's say someone is on ADP for 3 months with a case of juice. They get a $50 voucher for additional product, and another 6 months. At 6 months, they get a $100 voucher for more products, and at 12 months, they get another $100 voucher plus some tickets. But that's $250 worth of product, or two free cases, just for going on AutoShip for a year with our products. And that may sound like a long time, but I look down through my organization every month, and I still see people that are buying product that have been doing it since 2003, 2004, 2005. 10 years is a long time, but people still do it. And so make it important that they go on AutoShip. That'll develop some stability in your organization. And let's talk about financial goals on the next slide, please. I don't know, I never know what people want out of Xango when I'm talking to them. So, and everybody's different, and so somebody may just want to get their product for free. So if that's their goal, if that's their financial goal, is to get free product, there's a program called Nothing Beats Free. So if you bring in 3 customers, your product's free. And over time, you can actually get 5 or 6 free cases in a year off of, or actually in a month, off of your customer base. So customers are really important. And so someone that just wants to get free product just has to bring in 3 customers. Very powerful. The next number, $300 a month, is kind of a magic number that's been in the industry for decades. The story is if someone can make $300 a month, they will stay with their particular program forever because they're covering the cost of their product, maybe making a little profit, and they enjoy the aspects and the benefits of being part of something bigger than them. Some people may just want to make $500 to $1,000 a month. I talk to people every day that that's their goal, and that's a car payment, maybe even a house payment or an apartment rental payment, depending on where you live. And so we're going to talk a little bit about how to do that with the customer base tonight. $1,000 to $2 a month might be a goal for some people, and that's almost certainly a house payment, except for here in California. It's a lifestyle benefit, and it's a retirement program. Imagine if you made a $2,000 a month profit over and above your expenses, and you invested that every month for 5, 10 years. That's a lot of money you can put in a 401k or defined benefits plan or some other investment program. Again, back to product focus. Let's simplify this thing. Focus on the juice. It's patented, proprietary. There's no competition. And get your customers on ADP. Get yourself on ADP. Get your distributors on ADP. And you'll see how quickly it stabilizes and simplifies. Get familiar with the compensation plan, particularly the bonuses. We're going to talk a little bit about the I-volume bonus and the car bonus. The rank advancement is for those who have been in a while. But even now, there's a new March to May bonus. If you become a 1K or have $1,000 in volume in your first month, you get an extra $100 bonus. That's a nice little bonus for your earnings as a 1K. If you become a 5K in 3 months, or $5,000 in volume in your organization, properly structured, then you get a $250 cash bonus in your next month's check. So there's some real extra bonuses. That's nice money. The rank advancements at the higher levels are pretty significant, but I don't want to talk about those tonight. There are really 2 aspects of doing this business building thing. Put together a leadership team. We put together a relative handful of people when we first got started. We have a very large organization, but quite frankly, most of those folks came in with as few as 8 or 9 leaders that we brought into the business. So when you're putting your leadership together, think about 3 or 4 key people that you want to work with, and structure your organization so that you have the kind of structure that maximizes the compensation plan. Now, again, you may never find anybody that wants to build a business with, and that could be okay if you're building customers. So recruiting sponsors is just real simple. If you can do it once, repeat it and do it again and again and again. With a customer base, you can build that and teach that to the people that you're bringing in, especially the customers, because they can get free product off of that. There's no limit to the number of customers that you can have. They're free to sign up. They don't pay anything differently than anybody else pays for their product. You don't need a Social Security number. And so customers are really important. Now, this came to my attention really this last week or so because I'm working with 3 or 4 or 5 people in my organization to do some of the things I'm going to be talking about in the next slide. So if you would move on to a customers-only based business. All right, let's assume the basics. You purchase your case at 120 PV. That's a case of juice. And that qualifies you to build a customer-based program. If the average order is only 1 case or 120 PV at 15%, you need this kind of volume to make these kind of numbers. If you want to make $300 a month, you need 2,000 in GV or 17 cases or as few as 14 customers, but at 120 it's 17 customers. So 14 to 17 customers generates a $2,000 group volume and a $300 income. That's that magic number that I talked about on the previous slide that people have kind of used as a frame of reference for decades in this business. If you want to make $500 a month, then you're talking about the next goal that I set previously, which is the car payment, maybe a house payment, a car payment almost certainly. You need 3,400 in GV or 28 cases or 28 customers or 23 to 28 customers. So think in terms of, now you think in terms of cases. How many cases do I need to have this kind of a volume? And the number of customers could vary. To make $1,000 a month, you need $6,700 in GV or 56 cases or 56 customers or 45 customers. And if the average order goes up, you need fewer customers. So if you introduce a customer to the juice product, maybe they'll buy a second case of juice for their spouse or their family, or buy some of the other products that we have available to increase the average. And I know from experience that our average order is at least $150 per person per month, and that makes it a lot easier to reach some of these goals. So if you just want to build a customer-only base at signing up everyone as a customer and put them personally sponsored frontline to you, those are the kinds of numbers of customers that you need, the kinds of volumes and the number of customers you need to make $300, $500, or $1,000. Now, that's a lot of money to a lot of people. Don't turn your nose up at that. And it's there's some significant results people can have by earning what might be for some people a relatively small amount of money. But I can tell you that I'm always surprised when I talk to someone that's gone to college for 3, 4, 5 years. They've gotten a job. They're taking home $2,000 a month, $2,500 a month with a 4-year degree. They don't think anything about going to school for 4 years, but if it takes longer than 6 months to build a Xango business, they start to wonder. So think long term, and let's talk about putting a little structure in your organization by going to the next slide. One of the goals to get to the higher levels of income is to become a 5K. You can make $500 to $1,000 a month with customers, and you don't need distributors, or you certainly don't need a lot of distributors. So a 5K with basically structured, it just means you have $3,000 GV legs and 5,000 plus GV total. A $1,000 leg is 7 or 8 customers. So let's say you draw this little circle in your mind around that you have 16 to 20 customers at 2,400 in I volume. Your 120 qualifies you for an I volume bonus as a 5K. And you have signed up 3 distributors that also bring in customers, or they could be family members that you put customers under, to have you develop 3 $1,000 legs. In this scenario, it's $1,200 legs, with 8 to 10 customers apiece times 3 legs is 24 to 30 customers, and a total of $6,000 in volume. Now, 15% of that's $900. The I-volume bonus that you're qualified for by generating $2,500 in I-volume gets you another $300, give or take. Could be more, could be less, with 40 or 50 customers. Now, that's the first step in building the right kind of structure to get you to the next levels, so you can start to earning some of the other bonuses. And the next slide just simply takes it one step further to become a 5K based on customer program to earn the car bonus. So you make $1,000 to $2,000 a month with customers. If you add another $4,000 or another 34 customers or less to your initial total is when you reach the 5K, you got $10,000 in group volume. That qualifies you for the $400 car bonus. That's a total of 84 customer cases if they're single case users, and if the average order goes up to $150, that's 67 customers. And drops to 50 customers if the average order is $200. Now we know it's somewhere between $150 and $200. So somewhere between 50 and 67 customers gets you a $400 car bonus, $1,500 in the royalty bonus or income, and about a $600 I-volume bonus. That's $2,500 a month. That's the same kind of income that people can go to college today and wind up making after 4 years of study and education and all that sort of thing. But this is a way to make just one way to make $2,500 a month.
So Jim,
yes.
Let me just interrupt for just a second here, if you don't mind.
Sure.
And let's just leave this slide up for a second, because you know, we're often so busy thinking about getting people signed up and how many people do we need, how big do I have to get, that when you look at something like this and you think to yourself, wow, 67 customers with an average of 150. I mean, that's amazing to me that you can bring people in for $120 for juice and a box of Limitless or something like that. And as you say, when you get them on the juice for 2 or 3 or 4 months, then it's time to introduce them to another product. And so over a relatively fairly short amount of time, you could be making $2,500 a month with 50 customers.
Isn't that interesting? Because you recall in the old days, you had to have a $50,000 group volume to make $2,500 a month at 5%.
Right.
And that meant 400 to 500 people. That was amazing.
So for those of you that are seeing this, and especially you that are fairly new or maybe have just really gotten started even though you've been in for a while, when you look at something like this and you realize the opportunity, especially like Jim says, with people that have been to college and even those that haven't been to college, that are working 2 and 3 part-time jobs, don't make $2,500 a month, or they're working 10, 12, 15 hours a day, 5 and 6 and 7 days a week to make that happen. So I think this really speaks volumes when you look at this, Jim, for the opportunity to get to a $2,500 point if you just put your plan together. So. Well,
and the numbers certainly are different working with this customer program.
They are.
And some of us are, better salespeople than others. I'm not sure I'm a good retailer or a good customer builder, but I've got about 5 people that I'm working with that are in this category that generate between $5,000 and $10,000 a month in customer volume. Now, they're not quite making the money yet because they haven't all of this money yet because they haven't structured properly, but they will, and we're going to work through a plan of action with them to get them making that kind of money relatively quickly. So it's possible, it's doable, and some of our folks are already doing it.
Yes, and $2,500 keeps many, many, many thousands of people out of the workplace and home with their families or whatever else it is that they might want to do. I often think of young people that want that don't want to put in long hours, long days, but they want to make enough money so that they can do today what most of us had to work most of our lives to do, and that's travel and do some of the other things that we don't have time to do when we're busy working 12, 14 hours a day. And this is a perfect answer to that. So thank you for letting me take a moment.
Well, look, I'm excited about what's possible for someone just coming in. And I talk to people every day that an extra $500 to $1,000 a month will make a huge impact in their lives. Let's go to the next slide and talk briefly about what network marketing is and what it isn't. Network marketing is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Please don't go out and promote this as an opportunity to make a ton of money in a heartbeat and $1 million a minute in your first year. It doesn't make any sense. If it took you 4 years to build a $2,500 a month income, doing the right things with the customer program, I think for most people that would be worth it. Network marketing is simple, but it's not always easy. We only do one or two things. We talk to people about making money, and we talk to people about our products. But it's not always easy. If it was, everybody would be, wealthy, and nobody would want to do this anymore. So just keep in mind, don't complicate it. Just keep it simple. Understand the basics. It's not for everyone. I talk to people every day that couldn't do network marketing if their lives depended on it. You wonder how they've gotten by as long as they have with the skill sets and the limitations that they have. It's just not for everybody in their lives. They just couldn't do it. Network marketing requires commitment and persistence. People that stick with it the way that it takes, and they can see the long-term end results, you'll be here for the long haul. Take somebody that's with her company 20 years and has 500 customers. She's had that commitment. I wish she'd been in our company. I wish I'd have brought her into mine organization. But stay committed. Be persistent. It requires a long-term perspective, so you know where you're going in the future, so you know when you get there. Network marketing is also a living, breathing, fluid organism. People come and go every day in our organizations. 14 years is a long time in network marketing. People die, they get married, they get divorced, they get distracted. So keep your eye out for the right people. Build a list. Keep up with contacts with your people that you really want to associate with, and treat it like a long-term living organism. Okay, network marketing does not guarantee success. Results will definitely vary. The numbers I gave you are samples, and please don't use those as the gospel. Network marketing is fun, exciting, rewarding, and purposeful, and if it's not, go do something else. Because believe me, we've had more fun with Xango than we've ever had in our lives. We've certainly had great trips, rewarding travels, met some wonderful people, and we've been on purpose helping other people make money and feel better with our products. So that's a quick thumbnail sketch of what I think we're all about. You go to the next slide. It's just a close. And I guess I can open this up and take questions if anybody wants to. I don't know, but Carolyn, what do you think?
Yeah, let me just real quickly review the next couple of slides, Jim, and remind people that this month our new flavored ageless is the special of the month, where if you order it this month, next slide please, Sandy, you'll get 2 packs of the Xalo ageless, which is great because you can share it with others to sample it, and the water bottle and brochures for $199.95. That is a $69 savings plus the shipping and handling. So it's a great opportunity to taste that product that many of you felt you didn't care for the taste of before because it's different, and so we're excited about that. Please take advantage of that. Next slide, please. And this we don't need to talk about because Jim just did a great job of explaining the new sign-up program. I think you did that a little earlier. becoming 1K in a month and 3K and 5K in 3 months, and the extra dollars. I mean, this is found on the Xango website. I urge you to make sure you look at that, because I feel like a lot of people get to 1K quickly, and sometimes if they realize they could do it in 30 days, man, it would be just great. So take advantage of these extra dollars available to you, $100 for 100K or for 1K, and $200, $250 for 5K. So next slide, please. And I love Sandy. Sandy, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the time that you take to put these slides together for us and run this program. People that know me know that I'm very technically challenged when it comes to this type of thing, but you always put the greatest quotes on the end, and tonight's quote, of course, is, every pro was once an amateur, and every expert was once a beginner. So dream big and start now. And I still feel like a beginner half the time. So with that, if you want to open the lines up, Sandy, for just a couple of minutes to see if anybody wants to ask a question of Jim, we can do that. And I want to thank you, Jim, for the great information. I've seen some great comments coming in about how sometimes when you put it on paper and people actually see it, they go, oh, wow. So.
Okay, well, I'm here if anyone wants to ask me anything at all. I know we're at our limit of our 30-minute call, but this is basic information and with a little twist on it, tempered with a lot of experience. And so take advantage of it. Ask me anything you want. Okay, well, look, I appreciate everybody being on the call tonight. Carolyn, you have any closing comments?
No, I just wish everybody an amazing week. God bless, and we'll talk again next Monday. And Jim, thank you again. And Naomi, thank you for opening the calls for us. And, of course, again, Sandy and Collie for all that they do to help us make sure these calls are available.
Thank you. Good night now.
Thank you, Carolyn and Jim. Thanks.